Shalom, my friends. I have some incredible news for you today. If you're like most Americans, you're about to receive one of the largest tax refunds you've ever gotten. And I'm not talking about a few $100s. I'm talking about thousands of dollars that are coming back to you. Money that you overpaid to the government. Money that belongs to you. Money that you can use to build wealth, to pay down debt, to invest in your future. But here's what most people don't understand. A tax refund is not a gift from the government. It's not free money. It's your own money that you overpaid throughout the year, and the government is simply giving it back to you with zero interest. You essentially gave the government an interest-free loan. Now, I'm going to explain to you exactly why this tax refund surge is happening, who's going to benefit the most, and most importantly, what you should do with your refund when you get it. Because the difference between those who build wealth and those who stay broke is not how much money they receive, it's what they do with the money they receive. Today, I'm going to share with you ancient Jewish wisdom on managing windfalls, unexpected money, and financial blessings. And I'm going to give you a practical plan for how to use your tax refund to transform your financial life. But first, let me explain what's happening and why you're about to get a bigger refund than usual. In July of this year, a major tax overhaul was passed. This is the biggest change to the tax code since 2017. And it includes several new tax deductions that are backdated to January 1st, 2025. This means that even though the law was passed in July, it applies to the entire year. Here's why this creates a tax refund surge. Throughout the first half of the year, your employer was withholding taxes from your paycheck based on the old tax rules. But now, with the new tax deductions in place, you actually owe less in taxes than what was withheld. So, when you file your tax return in early 2026, you're going to get back the difference. According to J.P. Morgan's forecast, the average tax refund is expected to be $3,743, which is about $500 more than last year, or 15% higher. But for many people, especially those in certain categories, the refund will be much larger. So, who's going to benefit the most? Let me break it down for you. First, seniors. If you're 65 years or older by December 31st of this year, you're going to get an additional standard deduction. If you're single, that's an extra $6,000. If you're married filing jointly, that's an extra $12,000. This alone could result in a refund of $1,440 to $2,880, depending on your tax bracket. Second, tipped employees. If you work in a job where you receive tips, waiters, bartenders, hairdressers, delivery drivers, you can now deduct up to $25,000 of your tip income. This is huge. If you're in the 22% tax bracket and you max out this deduction, that's a tax savings of $5,500. Third, people who work overtime. If you worked overtime in 2025, half of your overtime pay is now tax-free. The maximum deduction is $12,500 for single filers and $25,000 for married couples. If you max this out and you're in the 24% tax bracket, that's a tax savings of $3,000 to $6,000. Fourth, residents of high-tax states. The SALT deduction, which is the deduction for state and local taxes, has increased from $10,000 to $40,000. If you live in a state like California, New York, New Jersey or Illinois, and you pay high state income taxes and property taxes, this could save you thousands of dollars. Fifth, parents with children. The child tax credit has increased from $2,000 per child to $2,200 per child. If you have 3 kids, that's an extra $600. And finally, if you bought an American-assembled car in 2025, the interest on your auto loan is now tax-deductible, up to $10,000 per year. If you're in the 24% tax bracket, that could save you $2,400. Now, here's what I want you to understand. This is a one-time surge. Next year, in 2026, your employer will adjust your withholding to account for these new tax rules, so your paychecks will be bigger, but your tax refund will be smaller. This year, 2025, is the year when you're going to get the big refund because of the backdating of these deductions. So the question is, what should you do with this money when you get it? Let me tell you a story from the Torah that will guide your decision. In the book of Exodus, when the Israelites left Egypt, they didn't leave empty-handed. The Egyptians, out of fear and guilt, gave them gold, silver, and precious items. It was a massive windfall. Suddenly, a nation of slaves had wealth. But here's what's interesting. God didn't tell them to spend it. He didn't tell them to hoard it. He told them to use it for a specific purpose. He said, "Take this wealth and build a tabernacle, a place where my presence can dwell among you." And the people gave willingly, joyfully, generously. They used their windfall to create something of lasting value, something that would benefit the entire community, something that would connect them to God. This is the principle I want you to apply to your tax refund. Use it for something of lasting value. Don't just spend it on things that will be gone in a few months. Use it to build your future, to strengthen your foundation, to create something that will benefit you and your family for years to come. So, let me give you a practical plan for what to do with your tax refund. I call it the 4 Foundations Plan. Foundation number 1. Pay off high-interest debt. If you have credit card debt, personal loans, or any debt with an interest rate above 10%, pay it off first. This is the best investment you can make. If you're paying 18% interest on credit card debt, paying it off is like earning an 18% return. You can't find that kind of guaranteed return anywhere else. In the book of Proverbs, King Solomon writes, "The borrower is slave to the lender." Debt is bondage. It steals your freedom. It steals your peace. It steals your future. So, use your tax refund to free yourself from bondage. Foundation number 2. Build an emergency fund. If you don't have at least 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved, use your tax refund to start or build your emergency fund. This is your financial buffer, your protection against unexpected expenses, job loss, medical emergencies, or other crises. In the Torah, Joseph advised Pharaoh to save during the 7 years of plenty so that Egypt would be prepared for the 7 years of famine. This is the principle of the emergency fund. Save when times are good so that you're prepared when times are tough. Foundation number 3. Invest in yourself. Use a portion of your tax refund to learn a new skill, to take a course, to get a certification, to hire a coach. Invest in something that will increase your earning potential. The best investment you can make is in yourself. In the Talmud, there is a teaching, the best merchandise is knowledge. When you invest in yourself, you're investing in an asset that can never be taken away from you, an asset that will generate returns for the rest of your life. Foundation number 4. Invest for the future. Once you've paid off high-interest debt, built your emergency fund, and invested in yourself, take whatever is left and invest it. Open a Roth IRA and max it out. Invest in index funds. Start building your wealth. In the book of Proverbs, King Solomon writes, "The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down." This is the principle of delayed gratification. Don't consume everything now. Store up for the future. Build wealth that will compound over time. Now, let me give you specific dollar amounts based on the average tax refund of $3,743. If you receive $3,743, here's how I would allocate it. $1,500 to pay off high-interest debt or to build your emergency fund if you don't have one. $500 to invest in yourself. Buy a course, hire a coach, attend a seminar, buy books. $1,743 to invest for the future. Max out your Roth IRA contribution or invest in index funds. And here's the key. Do this before you spend a single dollar on anything else. Pay yourself first. Invest in your future first. Build your foundation first. Then, if there's anything left over, you can spend it on things you enjoy. But most people do the opposite. They get their tax refund and immediately spend it on a vacation, a new TV, new clothes, eating out. And 3 months later, the money is gone, and they have nothing to show for it. They consumed their windfall instead of investing it. In the Talmud, there is a teaching, "Who is rich? He who is satisfied with his portion." But I want to add to this. Satisfaction doesn't mean complacency. It means being grateful for what you have, while also being wise with what you've been given. You can enjoy your tax refund. You can treat yourself. But do it after you've taken care of the foundations. Do it after you've invested in your future. Do it after you've built your wealth. Let me give you a personal example. Years ago, I received a significant tax refund. It was about $5,000, and my first instinct was to spend it. I wanted to take my family on a nice vacation. I wanted to upgrade some things in my house. I wanted to enjoy it. But then I remembered the principle from the Torah. Use windfalls for lasting value. So instead of spending it, I invested $3,000 in a course that taught me how to build an online business. I used $1,000 to pay down debt, and I invested $1,000 in index funds. That $3,000 course changed my life. It taught me skills that allowed me to build multiple streams of income. Within a year, that $3,000 investment had generated over $50,000 in additional income, and that income continues to this day. If I had spent that tax refund on a vacation, I would have had a nice week and some photos. But by investing it, I created a stream of income that has generated hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years. This is the power of using windfalls wisely. This is the power of thinking long-term instead of short-term. So here's my challenge to you. When you receive your tax refund in early 2026, I want you to commit right now to using it wisely. I want you to commit to the 4 foundations plan. Pay off debt, build your emergency fund, invest in yourself, invest for the future. And if you do this, I promise you, this tax refund will be the catalyst for a financial transformation in your life. It will be the seed that grows into a tree of wealth, of security, of freedom. In the book of Deuteronomy, Moses tells the Israelites, "See, I have set before you today life and prosperity, death and adversity. Choose life, that you and your descendants may live." You have a choice. You can consume your tax refund and have nothing to show for it in a few months. Or you can invest it and create lasting value that benefits you and your family for years to come. Choose wisely, my friends. Choose to build. Choose to invest. Choose to create a better future. Shalom, and may you be blessed with the wisdom to use your financial blessings wisely and the discipline to invest in your future. Now, I want to go deeper into each of these foundations and give you specific, actionable steps that you can take when your tax refund arrives. Let's start with foundation number 1, paying off high-interest debt. If you have credit card debt, this should be your absolute first priority. Credit card debt is financial cancer. It grows, it spreads, and it destroys your financial health. The average credit card interest rate in America right now is around 20%. That means if you have $5,000 in credit card debt and you only make minimum payments, you'll end up paying over $10,000 by the time it's paid off. And it will take you over 15 years. But if you use your tax refund to pay it off immediately, you save all that interest and you free yourself from bondage. In the Torah, every 7 years, all debts were forgiven. This was called the sabbatical year, or Shemitah. Why? Because God understood that debt is oppressive, that it steals people's freedom and their ability to build wealth. So he built a reset button into the system. You don't have to wait 7 years. You can create your own Shemitah right now by using your tax refund to eliminate your debt. Here's exactly what to do. Make a list of all your debts. Write down the balance, the interest rate, and the minimum payment for each one. Then use the avalanche method. Pay off the debt with the highest interest rate first. This saves you the most money in interest. If you have multiple credit cards, focus on the one with the highest rate. Pay it off completely. Then move to the next one. And as you pay off each debt, take the money you were using for that payment and apply it to the next debt. This creates a snowball effect that accelerates your debt payoff. Now, let's talk about foundation number 2, building an emergency fund. An emergency fund is not optional, it's essential. It's the foundation of financial security. Without it, you're one unexpected expense away from going into debt, from losing your home, from financial disaster. The rule of thumb is to have 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved. So if your monthly expenses are $3,000, you should have $9,000 to $18,000 in your emergency fund. I know that sounds like a lot, but you don't have to build it all at once. Start with $1,000, then build it to 1 month of expenses, then 3 months, then 6 months. Use your tax refund to jump-start this fund. If you receive $3,743 and you don't have any high-interest debt, put the entire amount into your emergency fund. That's a great start. Where should you keep your emergency fund? in a high-yield savings account, not in a checking account where you'll be tempted to spend it, not in the stock market where it could lose value when you need it, in a savings account that's separate from your regular accounts, earning interest but easily accessible when you need it. In the Torah, Joseph saved 20% of Egypt's grain during the 7 years of plenty. That seems like a lot, but it's what saved Egypt during the 7 years of famine. Your emergency fund is your grain storage. It's what will save you when the famine comes. Now, let's talk about foundation number 3, investing in yourself. This is the foundation that most people skip, and it's the one that has the highest return on investment. When you invest in yourself, when you learn new skills, when you increase your knowledge, when you develop your abilities, you increase your earning potential for the rest of your life. Let me give you some specific ways to invest in yourself with your tax refund. Take a course that teaches you a high-income skill. This could be copywriting, digital marketing, sales, coding, graphic design, video editing, or any other skill that's in demand. You can find excellent courses online for $500 to $2,000 that will teach you skills that can generate an extra $10,000 to $50,000 per year. Hire a coach or mentor. If you want to advance in your career, start a business, or achieve a specific goal, hiring someone who's already done it can accelerate your progress dramatically. A good coach can save you years of trial and error. Attend a conference or seminar. Immerse yourself in an environment where you're learning from experts and networking with people who are where you want to be. The connections you make and the knowledge you gain can be life-changing. Buy books. This is the cheapest and most accessible form of self-education. You can buy 20 to 30 books for $500 and gain knowledge that took the authors decades to acquire. Read books on business, finance, personal development, and any area where you want to grow. Get a certification. If there's a certification in your field that will increase your earning potential, use your tax refund to get it. Whether it's a CPA, a PMP, a real estate license, or any other credential, the investment will pay for itself many times over. In the Talmud, Rabbi Akiva started learning Torah at age 40. He was illiterate, but he committed to learning and he became one of the greatest sages in Jewish history. It's never too late to invest in yourself. It's never too late to learn. It's never too late to grow. Now, let's talk about foundation number 4, investing for the future. This is where you start building real wealth. This is where you take the money you've saved and put it to work so that it generates more money for you. Here's exactly what to do with your tax refund once you've taken care of the first 3 foundations. Open a Roth IRA if you don't have one. For 2025, you can contribute up to $7,000 if you're under 50 or $8,000 if you're 50 or older. Money in a Roth IRA grows tax-free, and you never pay taxes on withdrawals in retirement. This is one of the best wealth-building tools available. Invest in index funds. Don't try to pick individual stocks. Don't try to time the market. Just invest in low-cost index funds like VOO, VTI, or SPY. These funds give you exposure to hundreds of companies, and over time they've averaged about 10% returns per year. Set up automatic investments. Don't just invest your tax refund and then stop. Set up automatic monthly investments so that you're consistently building wealth. Even if it's just $100 or $200 per month, the consistency and compound interest will create significant wealth over time. If your employer offers a 401k match, make sure you're contributing enough to get the full match. This is free money. If your employer matches 50% of your contributions, up to 6% of your salary, and you're not contributing, you're leaving money on the table. Consider investing in real estate. If you have a larger tax refund, or if you've been saving, you could use it as a down payment on a rental property, or invest in a real estate crowdfunding platform. Real estate offers tax advantages and can generate passive income. In the book of Proverbs, King Solomon writes, "Divide your portion to 7, or even to 8, for you do not know what disaster may happen on earth." This is the principle of diversification. Don't put all your money in one place. Spread it across different investments so that you're protected if one fails. Now, let me address something that I know is on many people's minds. You might be thinking, "Rabbi, this all sounds great, but I've been struggling financially for so long. I just want to enjoy this money. I just want to treat myself. I just want to have something nice for once." I understand. I really do. And I'm not saying you can't enjoy your tax refund at all, but I am saying this. If you consume it all now, you'll have nothing in a few months. But if you invest it wisely, you'll have something that lasts, something that grows, something that creates more opportunities for enjoyment in the future. Here's what I suggest. Use 90% of your tax refund for the 4 foundations, and use 10% to treat yourself. If you receive $3,743, that's $3,369 for your foundations and $374 to enjoy. Take your family out to a nice dinner. Buy something you've been wanting. Do something fun, but do it after you've taken care of your future. This is the principle of delayed gratification, and it's one of the most important principles for building wealth. In the famous marshmallow experiment, children who were able to delay eating one marshmallow in order to get 2 marshmallows later were more successful in life. They had better grades, better careers, better relationships, better health. The same is true with money. Those who can delay gratification, who can invest now for a bigger payoff later, are the ones who build wealth. Those who consume everything immediately are the ones who stay broke. In the Torah, Esau sold his birthright to Jacob for a bowl of stew. He was hungry. He wanted immediate gratification, and he gave up his inheritance for a temporary pleasure. Don't be like Esau. Don't trade your future for a moment of pleasure. Let me give you one more story that illustrates this principle. There was a man in my community named Daniel. Daniel received a tax refund of $5,000. He was so excited. He immediately went out and bought a new TV, new furniture, took his family on a vacation, and spent it all within a month. He had a great time, but 3 months later, he was right back where he started, struggling to pay bills, stressed about money, no closer to his financial goals. Then there was another man named Samuel. Samuel also received a $5,000 tax refund, but Samuel was wise. He used $2,000 to pay off his credit card debt. He put $1,500 into his emergency fund. He used $1,000 to take a course on real estate investing, and he invested $500 in index funds. A year later, Daniel was still struggling, but Samuel had transformed his financial life. He was debt-free. He had a solid emergency fund. He had learned how to invest in real estate and had bought his first rental property. And his $500 investment had grown to $600. 5 years later, Daniel was still in the same place, still struggling, still living paycheck to paycheck. But Samuel was financially free. He owned multiple rental properties generating passive income. He had a 6-figure investment portfolio. He had options. He had freedom. He had peace. The difference?